Hi everyone. I've been collecting junk mail envelopes for a long time now, so I thought it was time I sat down. Here's my collection. Thought it was time I sat down and did something with them. So I've made 5 different kinds of envelopes, and I thought I'd just quickly show you the process of what I did with them. So here's a junk mail envelope. This is the finished product. So there's a large tag that can go inside the envelope, or it can sit on a page and you can have a large tag behind it and then another tag inside it. So that's that one. And what I would do with this one is I would put a hinge on it on this side underneath and hinge it so that it flips out in the journal, because I've also added a pocket on the back of it and just put a bit of notepaper in it. So that's that one. And to make that, it's pretty simple. You just need a window envelope, and I'm just really using my ruler and the board. What I've done here, sorry I forgot to show you, the pockets along the side have 3 little tags in them, and so they tuck in there, and that strip that makes the pocket is the piece that you cut off the top. So on your envelope, just measure the width between this side and the start of the window, and then give yourself a bit of room. So the maximum I could have for my pocket to fit would be just under 2.5 inches. So I've just got an envelope here. I just need to, when I've opened the envelopes, I slit the top, so I just want to make sure that that's level. Just trim that down a little bit. And then I've got about 2 3/8, so I'm just going to cut 2 inches off this end of the envelope. And then with this piece, I'm going to make the pocket. I tried to save, you can see on this one, when I take the tags out, I wanted to appear like it is an envelope, and so I saved this little, I left that uncovered. You could always cover that up. So all I did here with this one was, now that I've got that cut, I want that bit to be in the middle. So I'm going to just trim a sliver off the end to open it up into one long strip. And then while I've got that there, I'm just going to grab my bone folder and just fold over the ends. Any little bits like that that are unglued, just glue them up. And then I'm choosing to show the inside of the envelope, so I'm just going to glue this down to reinforce the top pocket, and then just fold it up till you get fold that either way. So fold it up until you get 3 pockets that you're happy with, whatever that size is. So that would probably be about right there. And then choose whether you want this pocket to have this folded flap tucked behind it or in front. So I think I'll tuck it behind it. and that's just to reinforce the pocket, and then just glue the little bits on the side. And in this second pocket, I'm just going to put a little bit of ink on it before I glue it. And so that's going to be a little pocket that sits on the side. And then for the top bit, I just again sat it on the board, and then I'm just making a little lip. So you can see on this one I've just reinforced the top. So you just want to fold over an amount, whatever works for your envelope and the size of your journal. And then just trim a little sliver off both sides, just from the point where you've creased up, just a little sliver. And then I'm folding one forward and one backward, and just glue that down. And flip it over and do the same on the back. So that's your envelope. The top's nicely reinforced. There's your pocket there. And then just glue your pocket on. Now you've got a choice here. You can have this top pocket can be the full length if you want to have a tall tag, or you can put glue at any stage on the back if you want to limit the height. I'm just going to leave it the full length and just pop glue on the 3 edges, the sides and the bottom. And then just glue that into place. So there you have it. You have a pocket there that goes the full length, pocket there, a pocket here and a pocket there. You have a pocket in here which can take a large tag. And if you glue it down into your book, so if you glued these 3 sides down onto a page, you could also choose to have another large pocket behind, or like this one, this is the finished sample, you can decorate the back. So I've just put on a piece of scrap paper and tucked in some paper, and I would put a hinge on there so it would flip over and open in the journal like that. So that's the first one, nice and simple. The second one, so here's the example. Here's the second one, and it's got a little tag tucked in at the top. Again, it's got a large opening for a large tag inside it, and I've decorated the back of it again just using some book page and some scrap paper. And again, I can either hinge this, so I'd hinge it on this side, I could hinge it, or I could tuck it into a large pocket in the journal. So to make this one is easy as well. You do end up with, the other thing you end up with this one is, you can see I've cut triangles off the sides of it. This one you end up with 2 little corner page tucks. So I would tuck that in there, put a little tiny dab of glue, and then that becomes a tuck spot for something nice and large on both sides of the page. So you end up with 2 of those as well, and there they are decorated. So this envelope's been opened on that side, which is I want this side to make the 2 triangles, triangular corner tucks. And to do this, all I did was I found the centre of this, so I just used a grey lead pencil. I've measured the width of my envelope, which in this case is centimetres, it's 12. So I mark it at 6, and then I mark 6 down both of the sides. And then just draw myself a line connecting those 2 marks that I've made. Then I just cut those 2 triangles off. And you can see these are the same size as that, and I've just added a piece of scrap paper on both sides, a little bit of gold foil, and I've cut out a butterfly and added a little bit of glossy accents to decorate it. So there's the 2 corners ready to go, and then you get left with this. So now what I want to do is I want to fold those down. So I'm just going to line this up on my board using one of the lines on the board and my bone folder. Just going to fold the first level up, and then the second one I'm going to make it a different height just so that the back of the pocket is higher. And then on the inside, I'm just going to make a mark at 6 on the inside as well, because I just want to bring this point down to the center and then fold that down. And then this one I'm going to fold behind, and that gives me the higher back and the lower part at the front. Just going to glue that little triangle down. You could trim more of that off if you like. Glue that down and glue these little angled sides down. That leaves you with your little tuck there, and it leaves you with your large pocket for a large tag there. And again, you could put it in your envelope and have another large tag, or you could glue it in this way and have a tag on the side. So that is that one. Now the next one I've got is this one. So this one this is a hinge that's going to hinge to a page in your journal, and then I'll just take that out, and then it can flip over like that, and you've got a pretty image through the window in the back and some journaling space. Or you can fold it over that way and you've got a pretty image through the window and some pockets here. And you've got a large pocket here to tuck something in, a large tall pocket here to tuck something in, and then using one of the bags you've got 1, 2, 3, 4 pockets there. And I've made this a full size one, so it's really high. You can tuck the hinge to the back, whatever works in your journal. So to make this one, Let's grab an envelope, and you need to open both of the ends of your envelope. So I'm just going to line it up on my board. Make sure where I've cut it straight. The ends of the envelope here will be the top and bottom of your page. And I'm just going to cut a sliver here to open up this end. Okay, now if I bring the sample back, with this one, the window is that way. So wherever you want your window, if you wanted the window to be down the bottom, you could have it down the bottom, or I'd prefer it up the top. So I'm going to have it up the top, and that means that I want the hinge to be this part of the envelope. So all you need to do is, this is now a tube. So all you need to do now is just to rule yourself a line and make your hinge whatever width you want it to be. Let's just go there, so it's less than an inch. Rule a line and then just cut along that line. So putting the scissors inside the envelope and cutting along that line. And if I bring the sample one back, you can see that now I've got my hinge over here. There's the window there, and that's the page that will flip one way or the other. And the hinge will work both ways. Any of these extra little bits, just pull off. So now I've got my hinge, just like this one. I've got my hinge on the back. There's my flappy bit that can fold this way or that way. And just like that one, I would decorate it so that you've got a pretty butterfly looking through the window when you open it like that. And when you open it the other way, you've also got a pretty butterfly through the window. And what I did on this one, I just took a bag and folded it in half and glued it on to make the 4 pockets. I used some pretty papers. That's just a piece of scrap card to make that pocket, and again to make that. So this one has a hinge at the top in my case, so I would hinge that, glue that to the book, to the page like that, and then it flips down. I've got a little tuck spot with a little tag with a tab on it. This image is just glued in behind, so it's just a pretty element. I've got some journaling space there. When you flip it up, I've got a pocket here with another little tag in it, and then when you flip it up this way, you've got another space that you can decorate. I've just put some journaling paper there. So that's it. There's the full length of the envelope. It's a nice simple one to make. So here's my scrap here, an envelope here. So what I want to do in this one, you can see from the example, is I want to fold a hinge down. I want it above this window, so I'm just going to make sure I've got a little bit of a gap above the window and just crease that. That's my hinge. I can fold it back. And then it's up to you where you fold it, what's going to work for your page. So I just wanted to leave, I wanted part of the window showing, so you can make it longer or shorter, whatever you like. And then to make this pocket here, you can see that I've reinforced both ends so that it's nice and sturdy. And to do that, I just popped it on a line, and I want to, just with my blade, I'm just going to cut the side of the envelope open. Just down to the ruler's length. And you can see on this one I've made the back bit a bit higher and the front bit a bit lower. So again, just fold and glue the front bit and the back bit. Any bits like this, little loose bits, just glue together. Glue that front bit down. And then flip over and glue the back bit down. So there's your book page, there's your tab that's going to glue to the page here. And then that's your bit that's going to flip up. If you want to, you can take a little section out to make your pocket. I think that just so that you can see that. And that's it. You can decorate it any way you like. So again, with this one, there's my tab at the top, there's my 2 level pocket, just a tag in it. I've just put some scrap paper here, a pretty piece of paper in there, and all I did to do that was I grabbed a scrap. I just grabbed a scrap of paper before I glued anything shut. I just slid a piece of paper in there and glued it into place, because this part doesn't do anything other than hold the decoration. And then you've got the option to add pockets or decorate that any way you like. So there's that one. Okay, then there's this one. So this one, I've got a little tab, again, to glue that into a book. I've got a little pocket here and another pocket here with a tab in it. If you wanted to, you, instead of making this a feature, I've got a little element in there, you could make that a pocket with another tag in it. Here's another one I made ages ago, and I added a little bit of glitter and just put a little butterfly, double-sided butterfly in there. So you can decorate these any way you like. When it flips open that way, I've just put some journal paper on the back, and I've got a little double-sided circle in there. So to do this one, all you need is your envelope, again, I'm just going to make sure that that's straight. Okay. So with this one, as you can see, the envelope, that's where the fold is. This fold here is there. And so I want to open up the envelope so it's one big piece. So I'm going to open up the other end by just taking a sliver off. I'm going to open the envelope on this side, just again by taking a sliver. So there's my envelope. If this extra bit, if you can just pull that off so that it's not too thick, and then I'm just going to, side bits as well can come off, and I'm just lining up one line and leveling off the side. This is going to be the side of your page. So there's the envelope opened out. Again, in the example, you can have the window wherever you want it to be, but basically I'm going to fold this back on itself so that it's exactly in half of the window. And you can see there on this one, I've cut this envelope down to fit. So you can make it any height that you like. This would be too big. This is just a standard piece of A4 folded, so this would be too big for that. So you could either take some, if you wanted this to be further up the page, you could take some off the top, which I'll do in this case. So just lining this edge up along a line. I want it to be the maximum height for the page. This is 8 1/4. So if I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, so if I cut it at 7, and then I'll just make a hinge while I'm at it. So again, just put that on a line. Just going to make a 1-inch hinge. Then that would sit nicely on my page. Now to decorate this one, because I've put it in a different position, you can see with this one I had more space above the window to add my tag. But with this one, what I would do is probably just make the tags, I'd probably glue this part down along that fold line here. So where that fold line is there, glue that down. Make a decision as to whether I wanted to put something inside the window like that, or whether I wanted that to be a pocket for a tag to tuck in and have a feature image on the tag that would show through on both sides. And then just reinforce this edge by folding that over, again just a little bit just to reinforce the edge, and glue that down. And then on this one, if I wanted that to be 2 pockets, I'm just going to put a little bit of glue on the fold line that I can see there. And a bit of glue at the top. And then a little bit of glue along the bottom edge. And just make sure that this window is lined up and in half. And then now I've got 2 straight edges. I just need to trim this bottom end to make that nice and even. then hinge into my book. I could decorate the front and the back of it, and then I've got space for a decorated tag to go in there and something to go in that pocket. And so you can see with this one, depending on where you put your window, I could have had 3 tags, so that could have been a tag, that could have been a tag with an image on it, and that one there with a tag, and then just decorate them any way you like. So there are my envelopes. Let me get them all out for you. So there's that one, and that one, and that one, and that one, and that one. So there are the 5 different envelopes. Just a nice, fun, relaxing way to use up some scraps and use up some envelopes and make something pretty for your journal.